From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger, and boy, some of you got to see some active weather, heavy downpours, thunderstorms, the works, whereas others, you're saying, what are you talking about? I didn't see any of that activity. So it just depends on where you are. We'll take a look at some of those rainfall totals here in just a second, but let's take a look at Kruger's Quickcast. Just get you out the door here for today and know what to expect here for the day today if you're in a bit of a hurry as you're watching this forecast. Overcast skies. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy skies. Now, there may be a few showers for parts of Modoc County this morning, but overall, we're actually seeing a lull in the activity before we see the next round coming in. So here we are. We take you through around the noon hour. We're beginning to see some of those showers begin to move back in here. Otherwise, still fairly dry for the rest of everyone else. So as we go through the morning, we'll start to see this kind of move in from the northeast down to the south and to the east. Now we take you into the afternoon. Here's 6 p.m. You see how it's all pushing southward. Now it's mostly to the east, but there is a chance for showers and thunderstorms even for parts of Siskiyou County and even Trinity County. The forecast model has been backing off on how far west it will all be. But you can see here, even the valley may get caught up in a stray shower, and we can't rule out entirely even a thunderstorm here later on this afternoon and evening. And late afternoon, evening is really what we're talking about here for the valley. But again, it's mainly off to the east here, Modoc, Lassen, and into Plumas County, where we're seeing the bulk of that shower and thunderstorm activity here. Now tonight, 10 o'clock, most of it's still again off to the east. We're fairly dry elsewhere. And by the way, the North Coast, you'll probably be looking at dry conditions here throughout the day today. All right, so here's what we have in store for us today. Temperatures on the cool side, only reaching the low 70s for most of us in the valley. Again, best chances for thunderstorms will be off to the east. We can't rule out maybe a stray thunderstorm for parts of central and maybe even western Siskiyou County. But as you start heading into western Siskiyou County, those chances for thunderstorms will be much slimmer. Again, those drier conditions here for the coast with temperatures there in the low to mid 60s for your daytime highs. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And again, for more details on the timing and intensity of all of this, stick around for the deeper dive forecast because we're going to take a closer look at what we expect as we go into the middle and even latter part of the week. Because what you'll notice is temperatures are increasing pretty much across the board, even for the coast here as we get to the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. There you can see, of course, the chance for showers through Wednesday. But what you'll notice as we look at the eastern mountains, some of that may even linger on into Thursday morning. So this is the cool and unsettled weather pattern through at least the middle, if not even to the latter part of the week, before we start to see drier and warmer conditions here for the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. All right, that should get you out the door this morning, giving you an idea what to expect today. Let's take a look at our deeper dive forecast, and we're going to start with our weather headlines, as essentially what we've got here is a cool and unsettled weather pattern to start the week. So what does that mean when I say cool and unsettled? Well, what that means is, you know those days where you see the mix of sun, some clouds, maybe a stray shower, or even a thunderstorm here? Well, that's going to be the case here through Wednesday. But I do expect most, if not all of us, to see a break on Tuesday before the next round comes in on Wednesday. And as you saw in parts of the eastern mountains, even on Thursday, especially Thursday morning. But after that, later on, temperatures will start to increase. In fact, after today, temperatures will start to increase. It'll be gradual, but a bigger increase in our temperatures by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. Should be back in the 90s for the valley by the weekend too, so it is getting a lot warmer out there. Real quick at the NorCal fires here, the Boise fire at 91% containment. Overall, we haven't seen much change in these numbers here. We actually did see a drop from 99 now back to 98% containment on the Park fire, and we take you out to the Bear fire at just over 3,000 acres at 88% containment. All right, let's take a look at those winds. And, the winds are going to be a little gusty at times, especially for the areas that do see those thunderstorms here. But as we go into Tuesday morning, the wind's not that much of an issue. By Tuesday afternoon, again, just a bit of that south wind, a little gusty here in the eastern mountains. Wednesday morning, fairly calm winds. Wednesday afternoon, looks like the wind's a little gusty along the coast, but nothing unusual for the next several days. But what we are happy to see here is these humidity levels. They are really increasing. We're going to be over 30% here over the next several days here for the valley. There's Tuesday. Now we're going to take you into your Wednesday, and yes, this is very nice to see. However, we're beginning to see as early as Wednesday, the humidity levels will start to drop again, and they'll probably drop even more by Thursday. But take a look at some of these rainfall totals. This is what I was talking about. Some of you are saying, yeah, it was raining like crazy. Others are saying, I didn't see anything. So you can see down to the south and east, really nothing really to report here, but we did see over 1/2 of an inch for places like Redding, Red Bluff, and Corning, and there are some areas that may have seen more than what you're seeing here. These are just the particular rain gauges that we're looking at for those locations. Bernie, about 77 hundredths, only a few hundredths out in Alturas. Didn't see much along the coast, so really it was centralized, and most of that rain for the north end and central parts of the valley. As you head to the south, though, we just didn't see as much, if any, really. All right, so the reason for it is you see the spin in the clouds right here. The area of low pressure is actually centered over Northern California. And as it continues to move down to the south-southeast, what we've got here is this right here. Typically, the east side of that low is where you have the most amount of instability. And that's why right now we're seeing most of the rain off to the east. Now, what's going to happen as this moves down to the south, we're going to see the moisture wrap around the backside of that low pressure system. And that's what's going to cause those storms to move in from northeast down to the south and west. Now, I've also got my eyes on the next system. So this will be moving out here later tonight and into tomorrow to the north and east. Then we've got this area of low pressure, which will be riding down the coast, but it's going to take a while before it gets here. Should be here sometime around Tuesday night into Wednesday. That'll keep us in the cooler and unsettled weather pattern, as I mentioned, through the middle of the week. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is giving the best chances for thunderstorms here east of the valley. You know what? I'm agreeing with that. I think that's a pretty good representation. Tomorrow, we have a bit of a break, and then by Wednesday, it might be overdoing it here, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we take a look at future casts. So let's get you right into it. We saw this a little bit earlier, right? Of course, in the quick cast, but most of the showers and thunderstorms will begin to develop late this morning, early afternoon, and coming in from northwest down to the south and east here as we take you into the morning hours. Now, taking you through the afternoon, 6 p.m., this is where, of course, the Storm Prediction Center was putting most of the thunderstorms, and Futurecast pretty much agrees with that. Now, the thing is, you'll notice we're seeing some sprinkles in here, just a little shower here and there, even for parts of Trinity County. So I think Trinity County, mountains of central eastern Siskiyou County could see a stray shower and maybe even an off chance for a thunderstorm. And we're also seeing some of these trying to kind of make their way into the valley as well, late afternoon, early evening today. But don't count on much. Most of it will be off to the east. We're mainly dry for the north coast here throughout the day today. Tonight, we're seeing it kind of taper off a bit here, but still some showers, still some thunderstorms possibly into the midnight hour tonight before that kicks on out of here. So as we go into Tuesday morning, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies for most of us, but mainly dry conditions. We take into the noon hour on Tuesday, still dry, but still mostly cloudy and cool. Then we go into tomorrow afternoon, evening, we start to see some showers begin to move on in, but that low pressure system is beginning to push southward. So by Tuesday night, we do begin to see some showers kicking in for parts of the north end of NorCal, right? So Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and not also to Del Norte and Humboldt County as well, but still fairly dry elsewhere. Then we go into your Wednesday morning. Now what's happening is this low pressure system will continue to dive to the south. And most of the rain is favoring the east side of that low pressure system, so as you go to the east of the valley. But the thing is, as it moves through, we can't rule out some stray shower and thunderstorm activity to kind of come where we did see that green coming in from the Storm Prediction Center for this area here, say Redding southward. So could we see a stray shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday? It's not out of the question here, but you can see as we go into 5 p.m., it's all kind of coming down and moving from northeast down to the south and west. I am anticipating that by Wednesday night into Thursday, most of the activity will be to the east, over places like Lassen and even Plumas County. But most of us by Thursday will be fairly dry. Rainfall totals through Wednesday, at least 5 p.m. There's where we're favoring most of the rainfall. Now, what we're seeing here is the potential for some shower activity, and we may even see some measurable rainfall around Red Bluff and Chico as well. But at this point, it doesn't look like it's going to amount to much. We look at the longer range. Once we get past Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking at a drier weather pattern moving in, and not to mention also warmer temperatures. So that's what's on top of us today. That's what's responsible for the cooler weather. As that moves out, we see the break on Tuesday. There's the break on Tuesday, but the approaching storm system coming in on Wednesday. That dives down to the south. Cooler air begins to move in. Chance for showers and thunderstorms. This one looks like it's going to move through quicker. So the chances for showers and thunderstorms, again, are going to be slimmer in some areas here. That moves down to the south and east and eventually kicks off to the east and pretty much dissipates. We've got warmer air moving in by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend and even early next week. Now, the ridge is going to have a hard time really building and getting very strong because we've got this storm system that'll be riding to our north and preventing us from getting into the triple digits. But it will at least be in the 90s, especially for the valley, by the end of the week and especially this upcoming weekend. And the long range, looking at the Climate Prediction Center, it does have us in the warmer than normal category as we take you into the next 7 to 10 days here, but cooler off to our north and east. So the trend, yes, we are seeing our temperatures slowly working their way upward this week, but we're mainly going to be just below normal through the weekend and early next week, maybe getting right around normal for this time of the year. So no triple digits in the forecast, but it is warming back up to at least closer to normal for this time of the year, which again, nothing terribly unusual, but don't get used to these 70s for long because it's going to be warming back up in the 90s. Now, a lot of people ask the question, this is something I brought up even last week, is can we say goodbye to the triple digit heat? Feels pretty confident that that may be the case, but we can't rule out a late season heat wave. This has happened before. In 91 and in 2022 on October 14th, we saw temperatures over 100 degrees. So is it out of the question for us toward the end of this month or even into early to mid next month in October to see temperatures reach that triple digit mark? It's not out of the question. It's unusual, it's uncommon, but it's not out of the question. We've seen this before, where things are looking good, things are cooling off, and then suddenly, boom, out of nowhere, we get this big heat wave that comes through. Now, it doesn't typically last for very long, but we are most likely seeing that potential, right? So we'll have to kind of look for that and see what happens. But for now, I don't see any major heat waves. So as you can see for today, some fairly high wave heights, but they will start to drop as we take you through the day on Tuesday. So here's a marine forecast for your Monday. North winds at 20 to 25 knots, waves from the north at 9 feet at about 8 seconds. There you can see that small correct advisory here for today. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Nice and cool out there today. Cool and unsettled at least through Wednesday. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, 67 in Blue Lake, 78 degrees in Garberville. Not a bad day. 82 degrees out in Orleans, 81 for Willow Creek. There you can see Smith River about 71. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 60s. Some of the warmer spots like Happy Camp about 78 and much cooler towards northeast in the mid to upper 50s for those daytime highs. We take you out to Modoc County, 59 degrees for Tule Lake, 59 out in Alturas and Eagleville, the high of about 58 degrees. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, a lot of 60s in there, but some of the cooler spots in higher elevations like Viola at 52, Mineral 56, and Paradise, a high of about 64 degrees. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Yeah, it's only in the low 70s for your highs. 72 degrees for Corning, 71 for Willows, and Elk Creek about 71. Up north, 72 for the city of Shasta Lake, 72 for Anderson, and 69 for Whiskeytown. Absolutely gorgeous, but as we look at that 7-day outlook, there it is. We've got the chance for some thunderstorms possibly on Wednesday, but you see how the temperatures are ticking upward. By Thursday, it dries out. We're in the mid to upper 80s by the end of the week, and around 90 for the weekend, and first day of fall, the autumnal equinox as it's known, will be on Sunday. That is your morning update. I'll be back here at noon for your latest forecast.